we are answering this question. This is a topic called ABC analysis. This is part of inventory management. It's another way of actually classifying your inventory. So, we're answering the B part, by the way, of this question that you're seeing on the screen, because this video is mainly on ABC analysis. So, this is the question now being answered. The following table contains figures of the on the volume and unit costs for seven items of a company. Determine an ABC classification for these items. So, how do you approach this question given such a table? Well, one thing I can tell you about this topic is that a question always comes with a table, just like the way you've seen it. These are, most of the time, these are the columns that will be given initially, but the thing is, it doesn't end here. Your columns have to be further extended, actually, more than this. And we'll demonstrate as we actually answer this question. So, the way it will work, this particular question, how we'll answer it, first you'll rewrite this table that you're seeing, just rewrite it. Then we'll start just adding columns. We'll just start adding columns to the table. Yeah, so already you have items, unit costs, annual, volume. What's going to be happening in these additional columns? Well, we're going to have an additional column, like we will see soon, where we'll be multiplying the unit costs with the annual volume. Some questions will say annual demand. Just take note of those two terminologies. Huh? So you have to have a column that will show the multiplication of the unit costs and the annual volume. They just call it's a annual usage. That's what we're going to find by multiplying those two. That's the unit cost and the volume. So let me show you now what I was talking about in the next screen. Now this is a table I was talking about in the previous session of the previous few minutes of the video. Yeah, so remember how the first table ended? It ended on annual volume. So now these are the extensions that we are talking about. So I'll be explaining them one by one and how you get them. So the fourth column, which is annual usage, as I was explaining, it's a multiplication of unit cost and annual volume. So take note of these few important notes. So I said, how do you get annual usage? Annual usage is equal to unit costs multiplied by the annual volume or annual demand. That's what I was saying earlier on. Volume or demand. So basically, that's that. That's how you get the annual usage. And then the next column is what? Cumulative. Let me close this window first that I opened. Yeah. So the next one is item. Why has item repeated itself, you might ask? Well, we are now rearranging. That's what's happening in the fifth column. It's called the rearranging column. Why? The thing is that we are rearranging the items according to the one which has the highest annual usage. That's how it is. So you will notice from the figures you can see the highest annual usage was the 5,100. Hence it's now on top. And then you ask yourself, 5,100 belongs to which item? Item number 7. And you put. Okay? Sorry. That was actually supposed to be item number 6. I beg your pardon. That was just an error. Yeah, in writing, that's supposed to be item number 6. Yeah, and then we move on the next column there. Cumulative. What does cumulative mean? Then now the cumulative usage. What do you understand by the word cumulative? Cumulative, as you've learned even in your statistics, this is just basically summing up all the annual usages. You start with the highest, of course, the highest annual usage, which is the 5,100, and then now you keep on adding. Cumulative is an addition. It keeps on adding until the end. So you start with your 5,100, it's the first figure. Then you see what was the second highest, 25, right? So add it. You don't just go and put the 25 in the cumulative column. No, you add. It's cumulative, as the term itself means. So now you have 76. You now go to the 24. 24 plus 76 is 10,000 until you reach the end. Basically, you're just adding. Then the next column is what they call cumulative percentage. Okay, the cumulative usage or cumulative percentage. Now, so that you're now looking at the cumulative usage now as a percentage. That's what you're basically doing in the next column. Now, how do you get those percentages? One might ask. This is what we're doing. So I'll just erase what's on the screen in this other window where I was writing the formulas. The cumulative percentage, again, another point to take note of. Cumulative percentage. How do you get it? You're basically dividing each cumulative usage, repeat, each cumulative usage. And this is just a made easy formula, okay, just to simplify what this is actually meaning. So each cumulative usage, the 5,1 separately, the 7,6 separately, the 10,000 separately, those are the ones we're talking about. Basically, those figures in the cumulative usage column. Then you're dividing them by what? By the total summation, okay? Total summation of annual usage. Total summation of annual usage. So each cumulative usage, let's say you get 5,1 over the total annual usage, which is supposed to be 12. If you add everything in the annual usage column, it will give you 12,770. A demonstration of this formula is this. That's what's happening. So we do this. 5,1 over 12,770. So this is the total. The one in the denominator is the total. What? Total annual usage. So after the 5,1 is done, you pick another figure. That's what I was saying. You got the 7,6 because you're basically picking those in the cumulative column. Now each of them individually, and they are bringing out those percentages you're seeing on that cumulative percentage column. Once you're done, we now classify the items. That's why it's called ABC. You can only classify them in those three groups. Well, A items will only, I can give you a trick. A items would range from, let's just say 0 to 80. This is just to simplify things. We move from 0 to 80, that's your A items. Then 80 to 95% is your B. 95% to 100 is your C items. So basically, that's how you class, and you're done. And this is how the outcome should look. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, so that's the table. I've just shown it to you again so that you can have a look at the overall outcome, and basically that's your ABC.